subscribe, please click the like button, share and subscribe. It's free.
Stated that as a result of the differences, Warrant Officer Makubo and Colonel Buthelezi then went their separate ways, where they then removed officially from the investigation of 636 of 10/2014.
My lord, they went their separate ways. I wouldn't say, I was the lead investigating officer, so at no stage did I say to them they should not form part of the team. It just happened, my lord, that they were not coming through, there were no reports coming. It was clear that there were a lot of trust issues, my lord. So they just went a separate way, my lord.
Usho ukuthi ke manje ke uyena ke uwarrant officer Makhubo kanye naye ke uLieutenant Colonel Buthelezi ke manje base ke bephumela ke ngezabo ke indlela ke ukuthi ke manje ngabe ukhona yini umlomo owasho noma ke owakhishwa ukuthi ke cha abangasi biyona ke ingxenye manje yalo uphenyo lolu. Cha mina ke nanjengowuyena ke wayehola ithimba leli eliphenyayo ke angaze ngisho ke kubona ukuthi cha ke manje abasuke ke bangabiyona ke ingxenye ukuthi nje ibona ke nje abathatha isinqumo sokuthi ke kwangani ama report ayingasezi ukubona ukuthi futhi ke nokuthembana ke akusekho.
So sorry, my lord, just to add on that, this is the reason why I said in my evidence in chief, the appointment of Brigadier Gininda was then brought in. The purpose was to be the coordinator between the SAPs and the NPA, but most importantly, it was for him to come with fresh pairs of eyes to look into this docket 636 as well as the 375 because it was in existence at the time, and then brief the National Commissioner in terms of these differences that were apparent. I gave Brigadier Gininda this docket. That is actually the only time also where the docket was out of my hand when he made copies of this. I do know, my lord, as I've said in evidence in chief, that he didn't manage to get hold of the docket 375. There was resistance and he never got it.
Ilapho ke noma ke bengishilo ngaphambilini ukuthi ke kwangenxa yaleso sizathu ke la kwalethwa khona ke uBrigadier Gininda ukuthi ke uze ke manje ke amehlo amashake la ezobheka khona ke azothatha u636 10 of 2014 ambuke abese thatha futhi nelinye leli ke idokodo u375 ambuke ke abese asho ke ukuthi yena uthini ke manje nanje ngoba kukhona ke lokhu ukuthi kunalo mehluko okhona ke kulamadokodo amabili ke ngase ngimnikeza mina ke babe senikeza ngovo lwakhe ngamnikeza ke mina leli idokodo u636 isona sikhathi kuphela ke la idokodo leli angekho esandleni sami ukuthi ke enze amakhophi alo kodwa ke idokodo leli u375 lona ke akaze alithole noma ke babe ngavumi ke ukuthi bamnike.
What reasons did Makubo and Buthelezi give for refusing to share that docket with a person appointed by the National Commissioner to come and coordinate 636 of 10 of 2014?
Yeah, my lord, I do not have a clear favoritism in terms of the response, but all I can say is that there was resistance. It should be noted, my lord, like I said, before this meeting of the 29th of January, there was already an engagement telephonically between the Brigadier Gininda and the members, and I was told that there was resistance. So meeting there with the DPP and them, things were not really, it was a tense situation. Like I said, the Brigadier took exception in terms of protocol and discipline, but there were a lot of issues, my lord, which I don't think are relevant for this matter, except to say there was a tension, my lord, and I don't recall the reasons given, my lord.
Manje ke kulo mhlangano wakhona ke wange-29 kaJanuwari 2019 uBrigadier Gininda ihhovisi labashushisi iDPP kanye ke nethimba lelo elaliphenya ke ingabe sikhona yini izathu noma sasithini izathu esanikezelwa ibona ke oMakhubo kanye naye ke uButhelezi bokuthi ke bengafuni ke ukuthi banikezeleke ngalo idokodo leli u3751 of 2019 kumuntu ke oqokiwe ukuthi kube uyena ke manje olekelelayo noma ke opholayo ukuthi ke kubhekwe amadokodo lana amabili. Angisakhumbuluke manje ukuthi ngikhumbuleke amazwi ukuthi imaphi ke amazwi akhishwa ukuthi kwakungani, kodwa ngiyakhumbula ukuthi ngaphambi kwaleyo mhlangano loyo kwakhona ke ukukhulumisana noma ukuxhumana ke ngocingo la asho khona ke manje ke uPherman ukuthi ke abazange bavumeke mase ukuthi manje ngaleli langa lange 29 January 2019 ila ke futhi ke manje ubrigadier futhi ke senenkinga ke khona ukuthi ke manje abantu sebengalandeli ke ama-protocol ke noma ke indlela ke yokusebenza futhi ke la bengavumi khona ukuthi nje cha idokotela benganikeza ingalo ukuthi kwangani izathu angisakhumbuli.
And that infighting, that those differences between yourself, Ramohala, Buthelezi, Makhubo, what effect, if any, did it have on the adequacy of investigation and the integrity of investigation of 636-10 of 2014?
Well, my lord, I wouldn't say it had any negative effect.
Now, before I go to the reasons, because during your evidence in chief, you mentioned several reasons why you say that you and Ramohala believe that there were intruders in the house on the 26th of October 2014 that perpetrated the offense that occurred there, correct?
Well, partly correct, my lord, in that the reasons I give in, those were my reasons. Yes. I analyzed, like I've said, everyone was given an opportunity to read the document independently. So Ramohala's views come in the sense that he was also of the view that there were people who came into the house, but I did not put it in the context that, my lord, this is what he found, the way I found it. I was simply putting my reasons to say, what is it that convinced me that they were intruders?
Uma bengisho ke ngikhuluma ke ngokuthi ke mina ke noRamohala thina ke sasikholelwa kwabo ukuthi ngempela babe khona abantu abangena ke ukuthi ke umuntu ngamunye ke wanikezwa ke idokotela ukuthi ke ayifundele yena ke mina ke ngasho ukuthi ngokufunda kwami ke ngenxa yale izathu ke ngingla engathola khona ngempela bakhona abantu abangena ke naye ke uRamohala ngokufunda kwakhe ke wase esho lokho naye.
Now you testified that before coming to this belief that there were intruders, your initial belief as well was that there were no intruders. Am I quoting you correctly?
Yes, you're quoting me correct, but I also qualified it, my lord. I think when I was asked by Advocate Baloyi as to where was it coming from, and I said, basically from what I was briefed, it was not based on facts, it was not factual. When I read the docket, that's when I was able to make a decision based on the facts that were contained on the docket, my lord.
Ukushilo ke nawe ngaphambilini ukuthi nawe ke ubukholelwa ke ekuthini ke cha babengekho abantu abangena ke lapha. Yebo ke ungizwe kahle ke ngishilo ke lokho, kodwa ke ngachaza ke ukuthi babungani ke bakungemayela nalokho engakutshelwa ke, kodwa manje uma sengihlala phansi sengifunda ke manje sengithola ke amaqiniso ke phecelezi ke ama facts ila manje khona ke ingashintsha khona ke manje ke umqondo ke ngase ngibona ke ngendlela eyahlukile.
And to that extent, I'm not talking about this belief from your part initially that there were no intruders. You made a statement to that effect, is that correct?
I don't think I made a statement, my lord. I think if Mr. RAMOSEPELE said I made one, he can tell me. I don't recall. It was just a thought, like I said, when then I don't have a recollection of that statement, my lord.
Ngikhumbule ukuthi ke noma ngicabanga futhi ukuthi sona ke statement engasenza ke manje nalokho ke ukuthi ngicabanga ukuthi ke cha babengekho kwakuwumcabango nje kuphela ukuthi cha abekho abantu abangekho, kodwa uma ukuthi ke othi sikhona ke ngicela ngikhumbuze.
To be fair to you, the statement is not explicit to state that there were no intruders, but you deposed to a statement on the 19th of November 2020 at the NATCOM National Commissioner's Pretoria office. The statement was commissioned by Dowelani Dion Molaudzi, who's a detective sergeant, and yes, it was it was commissioned on the 23rd of November 2020 at 15:30 in the afternoon.
My lord, if it was made in November 2020, I doubt very much if I would have said or created an insinuation that there were no intruders, because if one looks at that date, the matter was already enrolled. In other words, this matter was enrolled on the 26th of October 2020. My recollection, and I think Mr. Ramosepele can refer me to the index number, I'll get to that statement, but I have an idea what he's talking about. The statement I made in November, my lord, relates to further investigation and the evidence I collected insofar as my request in pursuance, or rather my application to have Kelly Khumalo charged. I think that is a statement, it pertains to that, because I talked to the evidence that I've collected, what is it that I think implicates her in addition to the confessions, and I think I'll talk to the issues of the numbers that were not disclosed. So that statement that I made in November, it is insofar as the application to the DPP to say Ms. Kelly Khumalo should be charged, as he acted as a trigger point. That's my recollection. I don't think I would have said there were no intruders, my lord.
Uma-ke manje ukhuluma nge-statement-ke in 19 November 2020 uyasho-ke Mr. Ramosepele ukuthi Justice Commissioner-ke nge-23 November 2020 angicabangi-ke manje lapho uma uthi-ke 2020 la khona-ke manje ngangisengicela noma ngisho khona-ke ukuthi cha ngangingakholelwa ukuthi bakhona abantu abangena lapho endlini-ke ngoba ngaleso sikhathi-ke manje icala-ke laliseli noma-ke babesebethesure-ke amacala abasolwa laliselisenkantolo-ke. Uma ukhuluma ngaleso statement ngizoyibheka-ke inamba yakhona ngizoyithola, cabanga ukuthi-ke yila engangisenza khona-ke isicelo ukuthi-ke akathweswe amacala naye-ke uKelly Khumalo. Isicelo leso engizangisenza-ke kuyona-ke i-DPP ihhovisi lalabo abashushisayo ukuthi-ke ngenxa-ke yokufakaza obukhona-ke amanamba lapho-ke ngangenza khona leso sicelo sokuthi-ke naye akathweswe amacala uMiss Kelly Khumalo.
Yes, my lord. So in November, my lord, if I can just assist the court, in November, there's a statement I made on the 20th of November 2020, and at no way would I say there were no intruders. And then the next one, like I said, unless Mr. Ramosepele can specifically refer me to it, the next one in November.
The one that I refer to, and let me give you the date and then just give a bit of a background of my understanding, but I want us to go to this statement.
Yes, what is the index number, Mr. Ramosepele?
I don't know what the index number is. On top it says 8225.
Yes, that's the one I have in front of me, with five pages.
It's got, now the one that I have is got 4 pages.
No, 8225, it's 5 pages. So you have 1 or 5, it goes.
Mine has got 4 pages, and the paragraphs, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the paragraphs are sequential until the end, so it cannot be that short.
Is it with 5 paragraphs?
Yeah, it's a big paragraphs, 5 paragraphs.
Yes, that's the one that I have, and that's the evidence. But let me hear you, Mr. Ramosepele. Yes, but I have it in front of me.
Just hear me out, and
yes.
And you are indeed correct. Let me give you that. Regarding the context within which this statement was made, that it was in relation to an application for a Section 43 application, CPA, J50 warrant of arrest in respect of Ms. Kelly Khumalo. But
yes,
I want to go through this with you and put certain questions to you.
Yes.
And this one, because it's typed out, I can read myself. My lord, I've already put the commissioning part on record that it was commissioned by Detective Sergeant Molaudzi, but mine is dated differently, my lord. It's dated the 19th of November 2020 at 1500, and the commissioning happens on the 23rd of November 2020 at 1530. And with leave of the court, my lord, may I read this statement on record. Paragraph 1 thereof, it states, I am employed as a police officer in terms of Section 30 of the South African Police Service Act 68 of 1995. I perform my duties under the same act. I am currently stationed at the National Commissioner's Office as the commander of the cold case unit of the National Commissioner with rank of Colonel and service number with telephone number. I'm the leading investigating officer of Foslo Raskas 636 of 10/2014, which is a murder case where one SENZO Meiwa was shot and killed on the 26th of October 2014 between 20:30 and 2100. The deceased was shot at the house belonging to his girlfriend, namely Kelly Khumalo. It initially appeared that it was a robbery gone wrong. Witness statements under oath indicated that the two black males entered the house demanding cell phones and money, purporting to be a house robbery. 7 adults and 1 child were present in the house when the accused entered. The witness stated that one of the accused was carrying a firearm, purporting to be a revolver. This accused was described as a black male with big eyes, dreadlocks, wearing a khaki or brown jacket or top, and a hat. He was shorter in height than the second suspect. The second suspect was described as tall, slender, neatly shaven, and dark in complexion. It is stated under oath that during the robbery in the said house, a struggle ensued between SENZO, the deceased, and the suspect carrying the firearm. 2 shots were fired by the suspect. One of the gun shots hit the deceased SENZO on close range in his chest and exited at the back of his body. The second accused focused on the rest of the witnesses, and in the process, 1 cellular phone belonging to Miss Kelly Khumalo was robbed by the suspects during the committal of the offense. It is also stated under oath that suspicious suspects wearing specific clothing, amongst others a hoodie, were standing hidden but only a few meters from the crime scene prior to the incident, appearing to be typing on their cell phones. It is stated that the suspect fled on foot and a hat which was worn by the shooter was left on the crime scene. It is equally stated that the suspects hidden away, which is explained to be linked to the offense, while seen running away from the crime scene. Identity kits were compiled through witnesses of these suspects. The victim was rushed to the hospital by the witnesses who were in the house. However, he was declared dead on arrival at the hospital. The incident took place between 20:30 and 2100. The deceased was declared dead on arrival at the hospital at 21:15. Paragraph 3. Investigations revealed that the cell phone which was robbed was picked up through cell phone towers until signal was lost, covering the area of Phosphorus Hostel. The said phone was never recovered to date or ever switched on again. The evidence explained herein under would indicate that the planning of the offense and gathering after the incident took place at Phosphorus Hostel. Investigation which resulted in evidence under oath revealed that the victim was murdered as a contractual assassination or hit rather than a robbery or a robbery gone wrong. Evidence under oath revealed that 6 suspects actively participated in the planning and execution of the contractual murder of SENZO at the directive of Kelly Khumalo. This suspect, in brackets, Nonhlanhla Kelly Khumalo, is first linked by means of confessions that were made by both accused number 1 and 2, as they both implicate her as the person that gave the instructions to kill SENZO. Investigations further revealed that she had 4 other cell numbers that she did not disclose to the police when these incidents took place. The numbers are as follows: 079 bullet point number 1, 079 494 8773 5017. Bullet point number 3, 073 388 6730. And the last bullet point, 061 456 2104. Investigations further revealed that she is linked to the actual perpetrators of this murder by means of cell phone linkages. These linkages connect her to accused 3 and 5. It was further discovered that through cell phone analysis that her cell phone memory has the same photo of a see-through bag containing cash notes and in the exact position, location and spot as the one of accused 3. Longatwala has the same bag of money. There is no reasonable explanation as to why Kelly Khumalo will be in contact telephonically with hitmen of her boyfriend. There is also communication records between her and her sister shows that as early as 2013, she wanted to get rid of the deceased, as she puts it clearly on the WhatsApp messages. It is abundantly clear that she hated him and wanted to get rid of him. She further states that she regrets not succeeding to get rid of him before. Taking into account all of these facts, an inference can be drawn that she meant killing him. Paragraph 4. Evidence by means of sworn, corroborating and independent witness statements establish a causal link between the offenders and the offenses of murder, robbery with aggravating circumstances, possession of unlicensed firearms, and the unlawful possession of ammunition and conspiracy to commit murder. Ms. Kelly Khumalo seems to be the trigger point of this offense. I hereby apply for the warrant of arrest for Nontatla Kelly Khumalo on charges of conspiracy to commit murder and murder. Paragraph 5 is the taking of the oath. It is that signed by yourself and commissioned by the commissioner who I have mentioned before, Detective Sergeant Mulawuti.
Yes, my lord.
Khona futhi ke nokuxhumana ke noma ke ama records phakathi kwakhe kanye nodadewabo okutshengisa ukuthi kusukela ngo-2013 wayefuna ke ukuthi ke amgudluzeke umufi nanjengoba esho ke kuyena ke kuma messages ka WhatsApp kucace ba ukuthi ke wayemzonda futhi ke efuna ukuthi ke amgudluze. Uyasho futhi ke ukuthi ke uyayisola ngokuthi ke engazange aphumeleleke ngokuthi amgudluze ngaphambili. Uma ke uthatha lokhu ke kanye futhi nawo onke amaqiniso ke akukho okunye ke ongacabangela ke ngaphandle kokuthi ke uKelly Khumalo kwakuyinhloso yakhe ke ukuthi ambulale. Ubufakazi obufungelwe obuxhumanisayo ke futhi kanye futhi ke nofakazi abayimele buyasho ke ukuthi kwakukhona ke ukuhlangana okwakukhona phakathi kwalabo abakwenza ke lokhu kanye ukubulala noma ke inhloso kwakubulala ukubamba inkunzi tholakala futhi nezibhamu kanye futhi ke ngokungekho emthethweni kanye futhi nazo ke inhlamvu ukuthi ke kubulawe uMiss Kelly Khumalo ke uyabonakala ke ukuthi kwaba uyena ke umuntu oqala ke noma ke owayephambili ke ukona konke lokho. Ingakho ke ngenza lesi sicelo ke sencwadi, isicelo sencwadi ukuthi ke aboshwe ke uNonhlanhla Kelly Khumalo kuyinsolo zokuthi zokubulala.
Thank you, Mr. Jonas. Now, Brigadier, I want us to go back to the statement and I want to put certain questions to you. When they met Miss Amanda Steenkamp for the compilation of this report, they all stated to her that they could not identify the second suspect. And you can confirm that from what I've read from Exhibit J. Is that correct?
Yes, I can confirm what is written in Exhibit J, but Exhibit J, my lord, is the notes made by Warrant Officer Steenkamp.
Yes.
So to make the right context, one needs also to look at the statements made by the people who were inside the house, because they do give a description, even if it's not accurate. They do, to the best of their ability, describe the first suspect and the second suspect. But I agree insofar as Exhibit J, but that does, it's basically an extract of what Warrant Officer Warrant Officer Steenkamp was doing, but there are statements of the people who were in the house insofar as the description of the suspects.
Uzovumelana-ke nami uma ngithi-ke kuloko kubhalwe uyena kuSteenkamp lana ukuthi bonke kofakazi bayasho ukuthi-ke abakwazi ukuthi bamchaze noma bamsho-ke lo owesibili-ke umsolwa. Yebo, ngiyakuvuma-ke lokho, kodwa lokho kumayelana kuphela-ke nama-notes noma lokho okwabhalwa uyena-ke u-Warrant Officer Steenkamp, kodwa kunama-statements ofakazi-ke abamchazayo-ke noma-ke bengekho-ke accurate uma singasebenzisa lelo gama-ke noma-ke bengasho ngqo, kodwa-ke kunalaba abamchaza khona-ke lo owesibili umsolwa.
You say evidence under oath revealed that 6 suspects actively participated in the planning and execution of the contractual murder of SENZO at the directive of Kelly Khumalo. Currently we have, before standing and sitting before this court, 5 accused persons, and in the statement it says 6 suspects actively participated in the planning and execution. Who is the 6th suspect?
It's Miss Kelly Khumalo, my lord. Remember this statement, I was applying for the warrant of arrest for Miss Kelly Khumalo, so she would have been the 6th suspect. This one, at that time, we already arraigned. They'd already made their first appearance. This was November, so I was now moving towards Miss Kelly Khumalo to be added. So she was the 6th suspect.
Uyatshengisa-ke ukuthi-ke abasolwa abayisithupha bona-ke ababekhaza-ke ekuthini kuhlelwe kanye futhi-ke bese kuyenziwa-ke lokho ukuthi-ke kubulawe-ke yena uSenzo kusho noma ngomlomo noma ngokusho kwakhe uKelly Khumalo. Phambi kwale nkantolo sinabasolwa abahlanu-ke umuphi owesithupha ukhuluma ngaye. Uzokhuluma ukuthi le ncwadi-ke noma le statement lesi-ke yila bengenza khona-ke isicelo sokuthi-ke kuboshwe-ke yena uMiss Kelly Khumalo. Laba abawu-5 abasolwayo bese beveleleke noma bebingeleleke manje ngaleso sikhathi leso. Isicelo sami ukuthi-ke uMiss Kelly Khumalo abe owesithupha.
And on page, the next page, or at the top, you say this suspect, non-Tanta Kelly Khumalo in brackets, is first linked by means of confessions that were made by both accused 1 and 2. Let me pause it here. On this aspect, further down in my cross-examination, I'm going to touch specifically on the confession statements, exhibits HH and JJ, allegedly made by accused number 2. So this point I'll pack it now. You further stated that Makubo and Buthelezi are the current investigators of 37501 of 2019.
Yes, my lord, as far as I know, correct.
Yebo, ngokwazi kwami-ke uWarrant Officer Makubo kanye naye-ke uLieutenant Colonel Buthelezi ibona-ke abaphenya u-3751 ka-2019.
And further that the A1, the complainant in 37501 2019, according to the information you have, is Warrant Officer Makubo.
Yes, I said, my lord, specifically according to the system, in other words, the case system of the police, it indicates that it's Warrant Officer Makubo, my lord.
It's A1.
Yeah, he's a complainant in short.
Futhi-ke kulelo idokodoka u-3751 2019 umuntu okuyena-ke wafaka icala noma-ke owamangala-ke noma kuloko kubizwa ngokuthi-ke i-case system emaphoyiseni noma-ke u-A1 uyena uWarrant Officer Makubo.
And now, having had access to 37501 2019, and by access I'm not saying perusal, I mean the time when you had it, when an order was made that disclosure of that docket should be made available to the defense team in this matter. If you can answer it, you can. If you can't, you can't. Do you know who the suspects are in 37501 of 2019?
My lord, my recollection, and I say this under correction, my recollection, because I want to assist as far as I can, I do know that it will be the people who were inside the house, according to what they allege, and I think Mrs. I don't know whether it's a Miss or Mrs. Piri. That's basically what I recall, my lord.
Uma wazi-ke ungasho, uma ungazi usho-ke, kodwa ingabe uyazi yini ukuthi obani abasolwa kulena-ke lolo idokodoke u-3751 2019 ngizama-ke ukuthi ngilekelele la engikwazi khona-ke ukuthi-ke kwakuwabantu abasendlini-ke futhi-ke kuyashiwo-ke uMiss noma-ke uMrs Phiri.
Now,
Family, it's been quite exciting to listen to RAMOSEPELE, how he interrogated or cross-examined, trying to get the truth as to how Brigadier Gininda investigated this case. He was just a roller coaster, up and down, flip-flopping, failing to answer some questions, simple questions that RAMOSEPELE was trying to get from him. But the fact is, RAMOSEPELE was very smart and was very clear what really he was looking for from Gininda. And he was trying to discredit everything that Gininda think he did when he investigated this case. Because most of the thing, he's just roller coastering. He's not answering straight. He goes there, he flip, he open a lot of narrating. Whatever he's trying to do in this case, he's not making any good of him, because he's opening himself to so many questions from RAMOSEPELE, because RAMOSEPELE knows what exactly, and RAMOSEPELE is really giving this guy enough time to continue elaborating until he finishes. He doesn't stop him, because he's clear what he's looking for, and he's exposing him to the next defense that will take on him. Because this kind of narrating and talking too much, instead of sticking to your answer and say, when they ask you this, you just stick. They just ask a simple about Buthelezi and Makubo, why they refuse to share the 375 case. He's keeping on going up and down, not even understanding himself what he's trying to do. And the fact that there was a lot of tension, it means there was no agreement. Because if you are an investigating team, you sit down, you go and investigate, you come and sit down, you analyze your investigation as a team, so that everybody can come with a point that why I'm saying these people are the people who are in the house who know about what really happened to SENZO. Then if you say the people in the house do not know anything, but intruders were in the house, came into the house, and the next person should elaborate his point, what you're doing, until you come to a common ground whereby you understand each other that, okay, we've built up a case, this is what we agree on, even when we go to testify in court, this is what you are going to stick on. Now there are two teams, and the other team is saying the people in the house are the people who are supposed to be arrested to give the facts, what really happened to SENZO. Because we all know now that the scene of crime was cleaned. We all know that the gun that was used was not a 9mm, it was a revolver with a wheel. That evidence came from the people who were inside the house, who saw exactly what happened. So it's kind of crazy when you listen to what Brigadier is trying to cover up. And when I look at the facial expression of the judge, it looks like he was not expecting RAMOSEPELE to do what he is doing, because he can see that RAMOSEPELE is really discrediting Gininda with all this kind of facts that he's thinking he's bringing in court. And RAMOSEPELE is making sure that this guy's evidence is not considered at all. That is what RAMOSEPELE is doing, because he's running him up and down, roller coaster. He's rolling him like he really wants to get him somewhere. I really like the way RAMOSEPELE started his cross-examination, and it has made us to understand that RAMOSEPELE can easily lay the ground for the next defense, because the next defense will be running with Gininda, like mopping him with him right round Pretoria, because lies have got short legs to stand. They cannot stand the test of time. So, in all what is happening, if Gininda is not aware, he will end up in prison. You can't hide forever. This is a person who have died as a celeb in South Africa. He died mysteriously, and the family needs closure, and the country needs closure as well. Because we're talking of somebody who was a national team goalkeeper, a celeb, and the family. Even the father died without knowing exactly what happened to his son. So now, the mother is still waiting. He's not supposed to die without knowing what exactly happened to his son. Buthelezi and Makubo, they really did a good job not to trust Gininda, because Gininda what he's doing, because it looks like he's working with Baloyi. Because instead of Baloyi presenting the case through the evidence that is brought by Gininda, he has turned to be on the defense, like he's trying to defend and create case that is not there. For him is to listen to the evidence, cross-examine whatever they brought to him, and present it in court to prove beyond reasonable doubt that these 5 people are the people who killed SENZO. But what is really surprising with everything is he himself, Gininda, accept that Kelly Khumalo should be the sixth accused in the dock. Why is Kelly not inside there? Because you can't tell the court that you found pictures of plastic bags that has led these people to be arrested. But the same plastic bags of money were found in Kelly's phone and they were found in Long's phone. Those people are not in the dock. They are not arrested. As to why, you are not giving clear answers as to why. So Gininda is really playing game with us. He needs to stop and just bring the facts as they are. That I have blundered, these are the facts. I know it's hard for him to retract because it will really embarrass and it will cost him his job. As much as it's still going to cost him his job because the lies will be exposed. Family, what do you think about what Gininda is doing there? Is he doing himself any good? Or he's digging a deep hole for himself to bury himself? Family, can you just drop your comments? Ngiyanithanda nonke ngothando lukaLove. Ithi yini bantu bakithi ningakhohlwa ukusubscribe, subscribe, like and share. Ngiyanithanda nonke ngothando lukaLove. Ithi yini usenzakala langa ukucinga amadolo until the right culprits are brought to justice. It's when he will rest and it's when the family will get closure as to exactly what happened. Ngiyanithanda nonke ngothando lukaLove. Ithi yini bantu bakithi bravo.